The rain pounded the cracked pavement outside the small diner, where Sarah clutched her frayed coat tighter, her 7-year-old daughter, Lily, shivering beside her. Inside, the warm glow of the neon sign flickered, casting fleeting hope across their faces. Sarah's heart sank as she counted the crumpled bills in her pocket, barely enough for a single meal. She'd promised Lily a special night, a rare escape from their cramped apartment and mounting bills. Across town, billionaire Ethan Caldwell adjusted his borrowed, ill-fitting jacket, his heart racing with a nervous thrill he hadn't felt in years. Tonight, he wasn't the untouchable tycoon. He was just Ethan, a man on a blind date, hiding his wealth to find something real. As Sarah and Lily stepped into the diner, their eyes met Ethan's across the crowded room, and in that fleeting moment, a spark of something extraordinary ignited, a connection that would unravel their guarded hearts and change their lives forever. The diner smelled of coffee and fried onions, a comforting contrast to the cold drizzle outside. Sarah guided Lily to a corner booth, her daughter's wide eyes scanning the menu with a hunger that broke Sarah's heart. She'd lost her job at the factory 3 months ago, and every day since had been a battle to keep Lily fed and hopeful. The blind date was a whim, a dare from her friend Maria to get out there despite the chaos of single motherhood. Sarah had almost canceled, but something about the man's profile, simple, unassuming, with a shy mention of loving old jazz records, made her curious. Ethan sat at the counter, his palms sweaty. He'd built a tech empire from nothing, but tonight, he was just a guy in a thrift store jacket, his usual tailored suits left behind. After years of gold diggers and shallow connections, he craved authenticity. His friend Jack had set up the date, promising Sarah was different. Ethan wasn't sure what that meant, but as he watched Sarah and Lily settle into their booth, he felt a tug at his chest. Sarah's tired smile as she brushed a damp strand of hair from Lily's face was raw, unguarded, and achingly real. When Sarah's eyes met his, she froze. He was ordinary, brown hair, kind eyes, a slightly crooked smile, but something about him felt safe. She waved awkwardly, and he approached, introducing himself with a nervous chuckle. "Ethan, you must be Sarah." Lily peeked up, clutching a crayon, and Ethan knelt to her level. "And you're the artist of the family, huh?" Lily giggled, showing him her doodle of a cat with a crown. The conversation flowed effortlessly. Sarah spoke of her love for old books, her voice softening as she described reading to Lily at night. Ethan shared his passion for jazz, leaving out the part about his private vinyl collection worth millions. He noticed Sarah's hesitation when the waitress came, her eyes darting to the menu prices. "Order whatever you want," he said gently. "Tonight's on me." Sarah protested, but he insisted, his tone firm yet kind. As they ate, Sarah opened up about her struggles, losing her husband to illness 2 years ago, the layoffs, the constant fear of failing Lily. Ethan listened, his heart aching. He'd grown up poor, scraping by with his single mom, and though he'd escaped poverty, the loneliness of wealth felt like its own prison. He wanted to help, but knew flashing money would shatter the fragile trust building between them. When the bill came, Sarah's face fell. She hadn't realized Lily ordered dessert. Ethan quietly paid, adding a generous tip, but Sarah's pride bristled. "I can't let you do that," she whispered, her voice tight. Ethan leaned in, his eyes steady. "It's not about the money. It's about tonight. You and Lily deserve a good night." His words disarmed her, and for the first time in months, Sarah felt seen, not as a struggling mom, but as a woman with dreams and fears. As they left, Lily tugged Ethan's sleeve. "Will you come back?" she asked, her eyes hopeful. Ethan glanced at Sarah, who blushed but didn't look away. "I'd like that," he said, meaning it. Outside, the rain had stopped, and the stars peeked through the clouds. Ethan slipped a $100 bill into the diner's tip jar when Sarah wasn't looking, a small act of kindness that felt more meaningful than any deal he'd closed. As he watched Sarah and Lily walk away, he realized he wasn't just falling for her. He was rediscovering a part of himself he'd buried under wealth and ambition. Weeks passed, and Ethan couldn't shake Sarah from his mind. Their dates became a quiet routine, coffee shops, park walks, Lily tagging along with her boundless energy. Ethan kept his wealth hidden, borrowing Jack's old car and wearing faded jeans. Sarah's warmth and resilience drew him in, but it was Lily's trust, her small hand slipping into his during a walk that unraveled him. He hadn't felt this alive in years. Sarah, too, felt a shift. Ethan's kindness, helping with groceries, fixing Lily's bike, eased her burdens. But doubt lingered. She'd been burned before, trusting too quickly after her husband's death. What if Ethan was hiding something? Still, his presence brought light to her and Lily's world, and she began to hope again. One evening, Ethan arrived at Sarah's apartment to find her in tears. The landlord had raised the rent, and her savings were gone. "I don't know how to keep going," she admitted, her voice breaking. Ethan wanted to fix it, to pay off her debts, buy her a home, but he knew it would change everything. Instead, he sat beside her, listening, his hand gently covering hers. "You're stronger than you know," he said. "You're not alone." The next day, Ethan anonymously donated to a local charity that helped single parents, ensuring Sarah received a grant to cover her rent for a year. When she called him, sobbing with relief, he feigned surprise, his heart swelling at her joy. But the secret weighed on him. He wanted to tell her everything, but fear of losing her kept him silent. One night, at a jazz concert in the park, Ethan's worlds collided. A former colleague recognized him, calling out, "Ethan Caldwell, the billionaire recluse." Sarah froze, her eyes searching his. The truth spilled out, his empire, his wealth, his fear of never being loved for himself. Sarah's face hardened. "You lied to me," she said, grabbing Lily's hand and walking away. Ethan was devastated, but he refused to give up. He wrote Sarah a letter, pouring out his heart, his lonely childhood, his longing for connection, how she and Lily had shown him what mattered. He left it with a single jazz record, one he'd played for his mother years ago. Days later, Sarah showed up at the diner where they'd met. "I was scared too," she admitted, tears in her eyes. "But you saw us, really saw us. That's what matters." They rebuilt trust slowly. Ethan's wealth no longer a secret, but a tool for good. He funded a community center in Sarah's neighborhood, naming it after Lily's doodled cat, King Whiskers. Sarah, inspired, started volunteering, helping other struggling families. Their love grew, rooted in honesty and shared purpose. One evening, as they danced to jazz under the stars, Lily between them, Ethan proposed. Sarah said yes, not to his money, but to the man who'd chosen her heart over his empire. Years later, at the community center's opening, Sarah spotted a familiar face, the diner waitress, now a manager, thriving after Ethan's anonymous tip had helped her through a rough patch. It was a reminder. Kindness, however small, ripples outward. As Ethan and Sarah watched Lily play with other kids, they knew their love had built something lasting, not just for them, but for everyone they'd touched. Moral of the story. True wealth lies not in what you have, but in the compassion you share, for even the smallest act of kindness can spark a lifetime of love and change.